welcome lo Nara Media Watch. Media Watch hemi one fala initiative lo Media Association of Solomon Islands MASI, where hemi bring him come together, okata editors as well as sub-editors, and okata journalists and other media practitioners play Milo County for discussing okata issues as well as okata stories, okata cover inside okata newsrooms, and also other stories from time to time where media hemi participate lehem. For welcome Yumi lo program for today, me Gina Kekea, moderator and host play Yumi, and of course I'll introduce our panelists for this week's edition. We're starting from our right, Alfred Sasako. Thank you so much, Alfred, to be part of this program. Dorothy Wickham, and of course Ofani Eremai. So okata no new ones inside the program, okata all time come inside the Media Watch for sharing okata stories, okata cover as well as okata issues where media hemi cover and also participate lehem. And now panelists, thank you so much once again inside lo edition play me today. This time mi fala little bit change him na how mi fala do program bla mi fala, and baba you may hear him seleva from okata panelist where okata stories okata cover inside lo past week. Why now okata thing em important for okata come share him one em okata been participate lehem lo past week. So I'll start with you, Ofani. Ofani, I'll give you the floor to tell us what now Sanfola stories or one lot story where Island Sun cover past week where you think that him parava important or nice for you sharing with him what the viewers play me today.
Okay, Gina, thank you. So I think everyone aware that land hemi always a sensitive issue in our country, yeah? And I think the other week everyone was taken by surprise time. Minister of Agriculture hemi come out to media and hemi say land blame where hemi not land blame but land where him host them one for important what do you call it department blame biosecurity department council hemi selem out now local Asian logo and him creating a lot of debate, yeah? Not only law mainstream, but also law social media. And Mifalo Island Sun, Mifala been keeping a close tab on that story. And I think the interesting part of it is that city council, hem selem without knowledge blow Otalo Mal, Minister of Agriculture and Lands. And that's what hemi taken everyone by, a bit of surprise and somewhere, I'd say, me quite shocking because, although you town council, city council on land, what facilities below
Ministry of
Agriculture now there. And yet they decided to sell the land without
letting them know.
letting them know, without consulting them. And Minister of Agriculture, I'm aware no time land hemi inside law hands blow that for a logging company now. So that was the issue that we've been following, been doing a lot of reporting on.
So when I'm come attention for the Island Sun that for the issue, was it through any tip-off or did you see it on social media? Or
no, it actually came out time Mal hemi
issue one press statement?
Issuing one statement on that. And since then we've been following up on it. The council has been
tight-lipped or
not forthcoming about it, yeah. They decided
not to speak to the media.
Speak about it openly until I think last weekend there was a statement from the council that ought say they are investigating it.
Okay, so but not investigating because Takalawat Council said I'm signing that document.
It is, yeah, that's what they were saying. But I think, Gina, the latest about it is that the Commissioner of Lands have decided for taken back land, yeah? So that hemi, probably by taken back and put them for public interest, yeah, and for allowing the biosecurity department for continue for occupying and using those facilities that they've already had there. Yeah? We're talking about an incinerator where normally
It's water waste, especially.
yes. So that's what we've been following up the other week, and the issue is still
They're
ongoing.
still ongoing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me have a question. Me like sa ilo in patlo story for the me ang fun is.
Yeah.
How come na o sa mo talulan sekelo lo sell? Because when you sell a property, you must sell him all the documents. You must get him every paperwork. You must go through lands.
Yeah.
And then you must pay more fees below you lo stamp duty lo Ministry of Finance. Where now inside this whole process no anyone lo kata accounting bodies o kata notes him that this one him done without consultation blow mal where him to follow everyone to follow sa mata ang blog man no may HCC and the ministry and for identify where na this whole site no hindi ka mat osem lo statement from what the Ministry of Lands mahuna ba approve mo at sila mahin mas come out from Commission of Lands and how na him go pass him without him sign na iminid for save.
No, actually, Commission of Lands na him confirm him that him na him doing transfer.
And then give him development consent for
that Asian logo
to take the land.
Take the land,
Because I also saw that Ministry of Agriculture, they've been sitting on that land too. They didn't know that was one Commission of Lands in Talem. So which is why okata selem normal that for the land because HCC na am FTE holder. So which is why okata no look him any thing lo there or things the assembly HCC no ma. They didn't know that agriculture has been using that place since what 1986.
For the last 20 years,
Oh no, 1986 na HCC taking that for the land and then Ministry of Agriculture go use him. So they didn't know about that arrangement. Even law agriculture too, I think they didn't know about that arrangement and done before. I think no even follow up to what now.
I think that's a problem with due diligence or the kind of issues so me Alfred because me staka issues him happen with him MID too with him road access drains where in the past lands him just suddenly approve them without actually going and seeing the site for make him for sure because some lot apply for kind of wasteland but wasteland end up him actually him drain or him road access to somebody and these things him several question by need for come back to lands too no system blame seleva lo how na him dream got the checks blame before him approve what things so same
I'm also what probably contributed to that situation I'm also as you might recall there was a bit of a standoff between the Commission of Lands and the Register of Titles, where Commission of Lands issued now on a statement to say any land for transfer or must come and enter law register below him. He created a register where everyone for transfer land or must enter of there. What has been happening according to the Commission of Lands is that Register of Titles or the officers from there allegedly do more transfers without entering these things inside Book of Law Commission of Lands. So that could be one of the reasons. In terms of ownership of land and for sale, to me, sale of any property where you own them, prerogative below you, it's your right to sell. Whether or not you satisfy all these other requirements, that's the big issue. Now, I was talking to the Commission of Lands last week, and I said to him, the application to register titles must be piling up. And he said, yes, and I'm not signing it until the Register of Titles office or the agree for follow now this fella register where me create him. So you will find that at the moment there's a lot of titles where him probably hanging in the air. And it's interesting for you for mentioning that Commission of Lands now sign him of that sale.
He did.
Yeah, and if he did, one I'm wrong where he had to go back and retrieve, and dishonor him.
I think,
A signature below him, look at titles here.
Well, him na
I
mi
just,
say,
I just spoke to him before we came here,
Yeah.
and what he mentioned was that the minutes which was provided by the clerk, some falalo okata, because there was a minutes where okata meeting, where okata agree na for the sale of land. I mean the HCC, but then some falalo okata councillors they denied
Being part of that.
Attending that meeting. Yeah.
They didn't give any the
Consent.
or kind of them. So that was why him say give him out notice to them. Allo Solomon Star as Alan Santu, did you receive the notice?
Me cite him. Yeah.
Yes. So that was why the notice was given because of the councillor Sema, they denied being part of that. So
Me no accept him kind explanation here because I'm also the fact that and depending on how many now they agree, now city council unfortunately seem to be following a trend where time we meet somewhere no more they agree on some money making proposals now, like they did with that what now we call them fire extinguisher and now this land thing.
Yeah.
What other things now what agree lo him where you sabi it.
so that's for us to find out. But them had them man for you to access
no,
him
me
people.
point, me barabat, o me question him to mas na is, last stop na, commissioner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how did this sale go through without due diligence, proper checking of the situation before you, especially if you're selling on behalf of a public body or some, we got to hold them properties in trust.
Government department.
HCC, him hold him in trust for the city. No any council inside law, they actually personally own him. So when they make decisions like this, Commissioner of Land should, before him even approve this transfer and sale, him should check back and make sure that everything him met legally for requirement for sale. It's like government selling land and then not thinking about 20 years from now, where he may buy need him for national purpose, and this whole issue, MID him face him all away with him at roads blame,
And then not only that issue, in people of Solomon Islands, they may raise him all the way too, that if the land's being sold, priority should be given to indigenous Solomon Islanders.
Exactly. And then narasan timo hem na mi say commis na. Hem just wait for resume no more for fit no more say me where hem should garam for a team no there where time request come in or sem what should go and cite him. Cite here.
Look at the issue, when I'm now problem.
Proper due diligence on it.
I'm interesting because what hemi state him media now is that time hemi sign him the consent for transparent title.
Yeah.
Him not realize him that on top blow land
Exactly.
facilities blow mal now lo there. Him not realize him until mal
No
him
proper
come out.
checking na
Yeah.
Hem is hem public space where hem owned by a body that is holding in custodianship for what the people blame me.
Yeah.
Like HCC, what look after them every property, every waka hem for city blonera. So when they are ready to sell a property like that, hem should make them officers blame go cite him lane to make sure that what they're saying on paper
It's
hem
true.
Is true.
Yeah.
Before kata, but individual selling hem different story kung sa mutual hem right bloman hem like sell na. But this one hem held in trust on behalf of
The
people
people,
So hem little bit questionable too how lands hem handling visual sale
Yes.
Then now what backtrack mo what make him Wakwe him look Chinese him a bit look bad, but he bought it in good faith
Exactly.
Maybe offer him
He
him
could sue them,
him buy him.
Yeah.
So this one him Indian him problem between lands and HCC na.
Yes.
So
Where-
funny, Baba, if Allah follow up law, Commissioner of Lands to
what kind
really
of
get
process
it.
here? I mean, need for survey.
Yeah.
Because by what? Anyone naman sa selling at public land where him held in custody. Him na happen with him every land below him where him should have been held for parks, for seafront access,
Yeah.
for roads, for drains. This is the issue na where lands him need for deal with him. And this case here, him bara bring him come back more. The same problem as you tell him Gina. He may repeat him all the way no ma. Individual selling of land, no problem. He may no question him
Yeah.
This all part he must question him government land. Because HCC land, basically government land no ma. Where him blow people. So whenever you sell things like that, you gotta consider these things.
And there used to be a body called the Country and Planning
Town and
board,
Country Planning
where City Council now in charge of him and representation from Ministry of Lands. I don't know what has become of that body. Yeah, because that body now, these things should go through.
Yeah.
Before what I said, them go what applications or whatever. But
Yeah, true. Now there's a board. I think it consists of 17 or more than 10 inside
No,
local
but I
board.
think that board is only
That's for the lands.
building.
Oh, for the
When
building.
you start to build, that's when you go through that process. They
Yeah.
don't go through it to acquire land. That one, no, misabi.
no. But what I mean is that even if Papa or the build lohem, you start with the land in the first place.
Yeah, check
There's
that
a lands
first.
board
Yeah.
where it consists of about more than 10, about 17 fala where consists of permanent secretary, other workers.
Yeah, this is different from the.
No, but they make approvals too, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
They
that
have
was
them,
a
if you want to
lands
see
board
the
setup.
if you want to see the minutes of the meeting and about the lands, but one time you go to the website Ministry of Lands and you'll see the minutes of the meeting. I think last one not upload him Kasim lo October or November last year. So you can see the decisions they've made. Look at the lands lo last year inside lo.
But that's a different body. That's within the Ministry of Lands. Yeah, I'm talking about
But it consists of Honora City Council, everyone.
Yeah, sure. But I'm talking about a body, a standalone body where also I think him karang one for act law parliament blow him too, yeah. Yeah. Him now him approve mo kata for shows, yeah, for developing for tourism and all that. And you mistake but the hotel take him now. Yeah. All these things.
Public space, yeah?
Yeah.
For public space.
You
Even no garam enough park, even no garam fields, recreation
there's no
fields.
park.
Yeah, only park naman loro ya. It's a children's
Only one.
park, yeah.
Yeah.
Why each
Anyways.
suburb should garam at least one public space, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Kukum should garam, Vura garam, Naha garam, or same. I think Naha is the only one who has, yeah.
Yeah, they have the football field. But
Yes.
anyways, that's outside of our scope in our work that we do,
Yeah.
especially for us in the media when we try to ask questions about these things. I'm good to for you me follow up, look at the stories, yeah. Especially look at the areas, lands commissioner. I think he's very open, low media, especially if you may like for ask question. He's always there to help us. But or the instances where him come up and then me look more him inside more, so me me to think more to yeah about him because action him different to yeah from words, yeah. So it will be good for us after this. We also Ofani as part of your follow up, probably interview the lands commissioner too for newspaper, even Solomon Star. Just to get things cleared, especially from his side, yeah, because him no look good as a commissioner of lands. Everyone sabe that whilst the ownership of the land then belong to HCC, the responsibility and also to the office plan for make sure that land yeah sold, even though it's under HCC ownership, but HCC people. Yeah, so as a responsible commissioner, he should have gone through, go to greater lengths to make sure that the land of the people are protected. But thank you so much, Ofani, for coverage. Please follow that full story, and I'm sure, bye-bye. Alfred, you got him comments more, especially lo issue lo Dorothy Wickham, where last week him part lo one fala workshop, facilitation lo workshop for the persons with disability lo Solomon Islands, mainly for accessing information. It's low time lo disaster. So Dorothy, you shared to us about the session which you've had, especially between media and also persons with disability, and also I think big thanks to Oxfam too for and ABCID for the support in the session where you held them previously.
I think new area lo imelo media, imi always cover disasters all okay. I think the only difference now is that times have changed. Alfred and Ofani, you both will know that this time people a little bit more conscious lo terms imi use him, yeah, how imi describe him situation or people or same imi mas same result temot ko politically correct to yeah. You mean no insulting man lo what now words imi use him. And so this workshop him for help him out the media for remind him what back my about him or kata things or same terminology and how you send a message to the community time of disaster him a little bit different na yeah. Imi no only worry about news but imi also do one for service to yellow people as a news reporter or news organization. Imi cover disasters not only for just imi like him people for the news but imi like help him to people inside the disaster zone yeah for to understand him what now go ahead around him water. And then I think part of the people with him disability or the blind, dumb, deaf people with physical disability, or to take part in this workshop, and order to raise him several issues about how imi need for think about time imi report lo issues where imi need for include him kata inside, because 14% of population blo imi kata people live with him disability and so that's quite a big number 14% so what I say even things osem weather forecast messaging him should consider mo kata too and then imilo news too start for need for think about him o kata like having sign language people on our shows. Also when we have websites we should think about both audio, video and print because some might not be able to see but they can hear kind of same imi start for consider now the changes where imi need for to be inclusive so these are all the discussions we go on that time. I mean, have not easy. I mean, needing money and
It's quite expensive.
it's gonna take time.
Especially when you talk about putting audio to a text on.
Maham na authorizing
website.
osem for example, Prime Minister's address every week Prime Minister garawang sign language man lo there. But time come no oversight committee every week ba? No anyone lo there. So what is sa follow blow PM?
Consistency,
Yeah, but what no sa follow na this one blow oversight committee So I mean there's valid arguments to it. I mean have something for media him take notice lo him and remember.
I think even for us to in this panel discussion, we should get him any sign persons and make him sign.
By sign person go confusing. Look what subject you choosing.
My comment on it would be this, Mama, that I think the fact that there are people with disabilities, and I used to say to one of our court reporters, don't use these words like this. Always say people with disabilities. No say a disabled person. No more. You must see people with special needs. You must try and tailor the language you be using in a friendly manner. Okay. One me looking me osemia. Disabilities or people with disabilities is something that Baba have stopped with him for a long time. It's not something that just popped up. Okay. And as such, lo ting blomi, whatever government policies have come up with, it should be part of that entire policy thing blo government so that then different sectors of the community will look after those areas. Or by focus lo hem and come up with what the needs for addressing. The way things are being handled and let me go ahead this time. Look awesome. If we are not careful, that maybe we could be used by other NGOs from overseas as a way of raising money for Waka Dream. Other areas. I'm not suggesting that they shouldn't do it. I'm saying that they are putting the cost or something onto too much, and so by openly discussing things or same you will should garib, you actually raising the hope, which at that moment it's basically false, and false hope for the people here, and we're not trying to deny them. We want to see that their needs are also catered for, but I think if there's any awareness, if there's any need to push this forward, meeting blomi, I'm now the ministries, government, should start with him. Government should start with him to put the parameters of what we like him doing in the first place. At the moment, like even law number 9, which is an institution of its own. The people who are the Katim of Lake Blogger, they have difficulties, and government have no look save loketa,
Accessibility.
And yet they are part and parcel of an institution created by the government, where government should cater for it now. At the moment, COVID-19 take over everything. Everyone else is just, I don't know, but I think that would be my comment. I think we should go at a level and a speed where fitim yumi, step by step.
Putting not putting
When
pressure
hem
on
not start
us.
there, you look in Prime Minister Garem somebody with sign language. Well,
It's a start. It's
a
a
start.
progressing.
And hem not me say hem, but take time and money.
Yeah.
But it's
It's
going. We're gonna have to evolve that way anyway.
Yeah.
Because Imi accept him start changes finished now. Imi accept him
That's
being
right.
digitally online. We've
Yeah.
accepted other things.
Yeah.
This one will come along too. Yeah.
Everything will come
Eventually.
Yeah,
Bam, come.
and me wonder why now Prime Minister chose to have his speeches interpreted by this sign language person, and that assistance is not extended
Yeah.
to other important areas where
The oversight
that's
committee,
right. Yeah, and other areas where Garem people with special needs can access easily.
Yeah, especially important things was in pandemic, yeah. That was what they raised too, yeah. It was like this is not
Getting
just
the
normal
information
times,
across
yeah.
to them, yeah.
So we need to know what's going on too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
have
true.
been taken into consideration in terms of quarantine sites. Kasi if I look him stuck at places at put out quarantine, yeah. Hem no fit man with the wheelchair, hem no fit man and blind. But me fala part of community too, yeah. I mean, these are issues they raised.
Yeah.
That they wanted the public to know and also ask
Also for
about
us
the
too,
media.
so probably ask the questions.
Yes,
Yeah.
they wanted the media.
Because we not got access. Look at the people. Yeah.
Yeah,
who
to
ask
start
the question
asking
on their
these
behalf.
questions on their behalf and being inclusive and ensuring that they have access to these normal things that every able man.
Imi
Then,
sabi
one for
ka
important point now, one for look at members
raising,
law
yeah?
blind association raise him say accident have sa happen in time no man.
Yeah.
No, one day you good, next day leg be loose, no good you blind.
Yeah.
Another
Even
thing he said
the increase of NCDs too.
No, and he said the age too. Elderly people
Visually impaired.
will become disabled because they will lose their hearing, lose their sight, and then they will join that bracket. So if we say 14%, we are not including elderly yet inside.
It will come.
So it may need for take them into consideration conscience because in the end, by affecting him everyone. Time maybe
No,
older.
Baba,
Yeah?
next year come and only me, leg me amputate
Yeah,
him.
but me question for me, Muslim. So how now? Members of the wider community, when I'm not doing, when we don't even have a platform
Exactly.
for doing that.
Yeah.
So, minimum lotting thing blomi. Government needs to step in and say, okay, this is an area that is increasingly come around now, and we cannot ignore it anymore or any longer. We need to put in measures that would help to raise solutions to some of these needs. Yeah.
So I hope that Togota watch him panel discussion blame it today, especially anyone lo government maybe, and then might look him this wala program and could be something that they've overlooked, missed because none of us are in that situation yet. But we get the ball rolling what time we talk about him. So let's hope that one of them or any one of them are watching this program now and thinking about it and trying to put him inside law.
No, I think
future plan
him-
look at that. And probably I think of any comment from you, Noma, before we
Just before you say
wrap
something,
up.
have important
Our
naman
time
for
is running out.
imi look lang to is that if imi say imi garang public institutions and organizations, maybe inside OSMU talem, what I need for putumin na or the basic things here. Like if you're a public solicitor's office, you should have a ramp.
A ramp there,
Yeah, if
everything
you're
is
hospital
there.
ramp,
Yeah.
you any public something where for use, yeah, and then maybe that
Not
one
only
is
that, even access to public transport, you can see for yourselves that they cannot access the public buses
Yeah,
because
wala
there
ba?
are no
and the
proper
shops,
buses.
the
even
shops, some of them don't have ramps.
Even public solicitors office, hanap person with disability, bakal lama pumudlada.
No, but ota take
those
ma po
other
for clinic
things,
this time ota ranim no sipa for cater for kata so sabi that office block no garim. So ota make him
So those are
clinic
good
for the people with
progressive,
disability.
things.
Yeah, what's in the Chinatown, which is once a week or sa go access him no there. So they've made those changes, but osem hem talem it's going to be a bigger thing a little bit, yeah.
So often probably you no comment
No,
on this whole issue before we wrap up.
I think you've said it all, but let me just say this. I think it's a good workshop that you will conduct them because you will give him space for members of our disability community for come and say what they want to say.
To the media, yeah.
Yeah, and you've heard them saying what they've said, and me believe we still have quite a long way for Go to become an inclusive society.
Society.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, panelists. Mr. Imi Baravalak story to us, but time I'm catch up with you now. Once again, look at the viewers, look at the panelists, play me. We're stop sitting with me for the past 30 minutes. I'm Alfred Sasako, who am Chief of Staff Law Solomon Star, Dorothy Wickham, freelance journalist, and also hemi with him Melanesian News Network, with other Waka Blame too, Ofani Eremai, editor Blow Island Sun newspaper, and me moderator and host Gina Kekia, Blow Media Watch, Initiative Blow Media Association of Solomon Islands, MASI. Thank you, Mifal Tomas, for stop with me, Fala. Look forward for me stop sit down together more same time, same place next week.